Most people think their house is just a place to live, a roof, a few walls, a safe space to rest. But what if I told you that your home might be quietly working against you? Not in dramatic, haunted house ways, but through subtle blocks. Little things, a layout mistake here, a forgotten corner there, all adding up to a quiet drain on your energy, your focus, and eventually, your fortune. In my 20 years studying energy flow in homes across the US, I've seen a pattern: successful, capable people who somehow keep hitting the same walls: financial instability, restless sleep, lack of clarity, or a constant feeling of being stuck. And what connects them isn't just stress or bad luck. It's how energy moves or doesn't move inside the space they return to every single day. This video isn't about superstition. It's about recognizing signals you've been overlooking. A house doesn't need to be broken to be imbalanced. Sometimes it's the clean homes, the well-decorated ones, that carry the deepest disruptions because no one ever thinks to look. So if lately you've felt like your efforts don't pay off, your motivation fades too fast, or your home just feels off in a way you can't explain, stay with me. What you discover in the next few minutes might just shift everything. 5 mistakes that silently drain energy. Number 1. A blocked center, like a heart that can't breathe. Imagine standing in the middle of your home. Not the living room, not the kitchen, the actual energetic center, where the energy of all rooms naturally converges and flows outward, like the heart of a body pumping life into every corner. Now picture that space cluttered. Maybe it's where you shoved the old bookshelf when guests came over. Maybe it's where a cabinet sits awkwardly, or a staircase cuts straight through it. Not messy, just blocked. A place energy can't breathe. You don't notice it at first. The house still looks clean. But then, over time, strange things start happening. You begin waking up more tired than usual. Your partner becomes short-tempered. You forget things you normally wouldn't. Projects stall. Plans don't land. It's nothing obvious, just this invisible friction. And if you're like most people, you blame yourself. You think, maybe I need to sleep more. Maybe we need a vacation. Maybe I'm just in a slump. But what if it's not you? What if your home's center, its heart, has been suffocating all along? In Feng Shui, this space is called the central palace. It's not tied to function. It's not where you cook or sleep or entertain. It's the quiet pulse under the floor plan. And when this core gets obstructed physically, energetically, emotionally, your entire house goes out of rhythm. Imagine someone gently placing bricks on your chest, one by one, not enough to hurt, but just enough to slowly restrict your breath. That's what happens when you pile items into the central energy field. The pressure builds. Subtle tension takes over. You don't have to believe in energy to feel its impact. You already do. You feel it when you walk into a hotel lobby that feels oddly welcoming, or a friend's home that makes you want to leave right away. That's energy. And your home has it too, shaped by light, sound, space, and layout. When the center of your home is blocked, people living there often experience a deep sense of disconnection. They may feel uninspired, directionless, or emotionally scattered. Financial decisions feel heavy. Conversations lead nowhere. Clarity fades. And here's the twist: most people never think to check this spot, because it's not a room, it's just space. That's why it becomes a storage zone. A place where you put temporary stuff that ends up living there for years. A folded treadmill, an old side table, boxes that never made it to the attic. Each item might feel harmless, but collectively, they weigh the energy down like trying to run with ankle weights. Let me tell you a quick story. A client of mine, let's call her Sarah, had a beautiful home in Connecticut. Modern, well-maintained, filled with natural light. But her life felt stuck. She was talented, driven, and hardworking, yet things kept stalling: job offers that fell through last minute, tension with her teenage daughter, even frequent headaches that doctors couldn't explain. When I visited, I noticed a massive cabinet placed right in the heart of her home, blocking the very center of her energy field. She had put it there just for now 5 years ago. We cleared the space, let it breathe, added a warm-toned rug, a simple candle, and a round stone to ground the energy. Within 2 months, her daughter was accepted to a college she dreamed of. Sarah got promoted out of the blue. She laughed and told me, "I don't know if I believe in Feng Shui, but I do believe my house can finally breathe." And so could she. Of course, not every result is dramatic, but the shift, always real. So how do you find your center? It's simple. Take your home's floor plan and divide it in half, both vertically and horizontally. The point where those lines intersect is your home's energetic center. Go there, stand in it, look around. What's sitting there right now? Is it open, light-filled, or does it feel like a forgotten no man's land? Start small, remove anything large or heavy. Dust the area, let in natural light. You don't need special crystals or complex symbols, just stillness, cleanliness, calm. You can add a few gentle touches: an earth-toned rug, a potted plant, a smooth stone or candle. Let that space feel respected again. When the center is open, the rest of the home, your life starts flowing differently. You'll notice better focus, more clarity, less emotional chaos. Maybe your sleep improves. Maybe you feel more motivated to act on things you've been putting off. That's not magic. It's just alignment. Remember, your home is like a living being. And just like a person can't thrive with a blocked heart, your house can't support you fully if its center is clogged. You don't need to fix your whole life in one day. But start with this: let your house breathe again, from the very center. Because once the heart opens, everything else, light, clarity, abundance, can finally find its way in. Number 2. The forgotten room, a pool of dead energy. Every house has one. A room that nobody really uses anymore. Maybe it used to be a guest bedroom, a home office, or your kids' playroom before they left for college. Now, it's where you store things you don't know what to do with. Old boxes, broken lamps, clothes that don't fit but still hang on the rack. It's not messy, it's just quiet, too quiet. And if you think that silence is harmless, think again, because in Feng Shui, that silence can carry weight. A forgotten room isn't just a space without people. It becomes a pool of dead energy. Still, heavy, and slowly it begins to affect everything around it. In energy terms, a room that goes untouched for too long becomes stagnant. It stops circulating vitality. It holds air that doesn't move, light that doesn't shift, and emotions that don't breathe. It's like a pond with no fresh water. Eventually, it turns murky, and the smell becomes hard to ignore. In your home, this stale energy starts small: a weird smell when you walk past, a flickering light bulb that you never fix, a feeling of unease that makes you shut the door without stepping in. You think, "I'll deal with it later," but later doesn't come. And all the while, that room starts spreading its energetic tone across your entire house. What starts in one room doesn't stay there. Energy is fluid. The same way scent travels beyond a single candle, stagnation travels beyond four walls. You might start feeling more tired than usual, unmotivated. Projects stay unfinished. Communication with loved ones feels flat. You may find yourself procrastinating more than you used to, or worse, not feeling anything at all. The home begins to feel like it's holding something heavy, but you can't name it. You just know something's off. Let me share something personal. A retired couple I once worked with in Northern California had a lovely home, meticulously kept, but after their daughter moved out, her bedroom stayed untouched. For years, her posters remained on the walls, books on the shelves, clothes in the closet. They said it brought comfort, but what it actually brought was energy that refused to move. Over time, they both developed mild depression. The husband had trouble focusing. The wife felt like the house had too many shadows. When I walked through their home, that room felt like it hadn't inhaled in a decade. We didn't remove the memories. We honored them, but we reawakened the space. Opened the windows, donated old clothes, added fresh paint, a new plant, a soft reading chair. 2 months later, the couple started hosting friends again. They laughed more. The wife even started painting. That room didn't hold them down anymore, it carried them forward. Now, you may be thinking, but I don't have time to redo an entire room. You don't have to. Start small. Open the door, let sunlight in. Air out the stale energy. Clear just a third of the space. That's all. You don't need perfection, you need movement. Throw out one broken item, vacuum the floor. Add something that breathes: a plant, a salt lamp, even a bowl of oranges. These aren't decorations, they're signs of life, and energy responds to life. If you're emotionally attached to what's inside, that's okay. This isn't about erasing memories. It's about reminding that room it still belongs in the present, not just the past. Because when one space in your home gets energetically left behind, it slows everything else down. The body follows the environment. Your thoughts echo your space. A home is like a symphony. If one instrument falls silent for too long, the whole piece sounds off. There's a reason cultures around the world perform space-cleansing rituals. Not because the room is haunted, but because the energy inside has become too still to serve you. In Feng Shui, we call this yin dominance when passive, stagnant energy outweighs vitality. The solution isn't dramatic. It's deliberate. Intention is your most powerful tool. So go to that forgotten room. Don't ignore what you feel. Walk in with soft eyes. Let yourself notice what your body does. Does your breath get shallow? Do your shoulders tense? That's the house telling you what it needs. Let the space know you are part of this home again. Do one small act that makes it true. That alone is enough to begin shifting the tide. Because here's what most people forget: a home is not just four walls. It's a mirror. And every corner reflects a part of you. The forgotten room. It might be echoing a part of yourself you've also been avoiding: a memory, a goal, a voice you used to trust. Reclaiming the space isn't just for the room. It's for you. It's a declaration: I choose to reawaken what I've let go silent. And from that small act, momentum builds. Energy begins to circulate again. Not just in the room, but in your days. You find yourself opening the blinds more, calling an old friend, finishing something you started long ago. It's subtle but real. So ask yourself this: what room in your home have you stopped stepping into? What part of your life has started feeling the same? And what could shift if you brought both of them back into the light? Let the answer guide your next step. And remember, no space is ever truly lost. It's just waiting to be noticed again. Number 3. Cracked walls where energy leaks away. You might not think much of it. A small crack in the wall near the baseboard. A thin line snaking down from the ceiling. Maybe the paint is peeling just a little, or there's a patch of discoloration that you keep meaning to cover up. It's not a priority. It's not urgent. But it is speaking, and the message it's sending may be costing you more than you realize. In Feng Shui, walls aren't just structural, they're energetic boundaries. They hold the space together, protect the flow within, and keep the energy of your home contained. Think of them like the skin of your space. When that skin gets damaged, no matter how subtly it signals neglect. And energy, like emotion, responds to how it's treated. A cracked wall might not seem like much, but energetically, it's a wound. One that, if left unattended, starts to leak. And what leaks out? Motivation, stability, focus. What leaks in? Disruption, stress, unrest. You may start to notice more arguments in the house, or more tension at work. You may find your plans unraveling before they even begin, not because of one decision, but because the container holding your life's energy isn't holding firm anymore. That crack becomes a thread, and if you don't mend it, things begin to fray. Now, this isn't about fear. It's about awareness. Your home doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to feel held. And holding begins with attention. A home with care in its bones tends to hold better space for the people inside. And small repairs done with intention carry more energetic weight than you think. Think about the broken window theory from urban psychology. One window left cracked leads to more damage, more litter, more neglect. Why? Because it sends a message that no one's paying attention. The same applies to your home. A crack says, "This doesn't matter," and energy listens. Soon, opportunities stop showing up. Communication falters. You find yourself constantly reacting, rather than creating. You start to feel like life is running ahead of you, and you're just trying to catch up. I once worked with a real estate investor, let's call him Jonathan. He was analytical, logical, not the kind of person who talked about energy. But he came to me out of frustration. Deals were falling through. Tenants were leaving. He felt drained in his own home. When I visited, I noticed a long crack above his office doorway, something he'd stopped seeing. "It's been there for years," he shrugged. "Doesn't bother me." But it was the only room where he ever felt headaches, where phone calls turned difficult, where ideas never landed. We patched the wall, repainted. He didn't expect anything to change. But he called me a month later. He'd closed 2 deals. His communication felt smoother. He laughed when he said it, maybe the crack really was leaking something. Whether he believed it or not, his house did. The solution doesn't require a contractor. It starts with presence. Walk around your home. Look again, not with judgment, but with care. Where is the paint peeling? Where does the drywall feel weak? Where has your home been trying to get your attention? Fix what you can. Even a coat of fresh paint can be symbolic. After the physical repair, tend to the energy. Add something pure to the space, a clear quartz crystal, a soft painting, a single candle you light at dusk. Not for aesthetics, for alignment. You're telling your home, I see you, I care, and it will respond. You'll begin to feel held again, grounded, more capable of making decisions, staying calm, following through. The chaos outside won't affect you as easily because inside, your space is sealed, secure, whole. Your home reflects you, and cracks in the walls often echo cracks in your own rhythm. Places where you've let something slide, lost focus, or told yourself it doesn't matter anymore. But it does. You matter, and so does the space that holds you. There's a subtle power in small repairs. They tell your nervous system, I'm safe here. They remind you that the foundations are solid, that the house can carry you. And when you stop ignoring what's broken, your energy gets stronger, more stable, more magnetic. So take a walk around your house tonight. No need to fix everything. Just notice, find one crack, just one, patch it, clean the area, light a candle nearby. Watch how quickly the energy changes, not just in the room but in you. Because healing doesn't always begin with grand gestures. Sometimes it starts with a brushstroke, a patch, a gentle act of repair. And in that moment, your home stops leaking and starts holding you again. Fully, quietly, powerfully. Number 4. Musty smell, a whisper from stuck energy. You notice it when you come back after a weekend away. That faint, stale scent. Not strong enough to call it bad, but noticeable. Like air that's been holding its breath for too long. You light a candle, maybe spray something floral, and it fades for a while. But the next morning, it's back. Soft, musty, lingering. And here's the truth we often miss, that smell is more than air. It's energy trying to speak. In Feng Shui, scent is not just a sensory detail, it's a signal. The first sign that something in your home is no longer alive energetically, emotionally, or spiritually. Musty odors come from stillness, from places where air doesn't move, moisture lingers, and life force gets trapped. And when that energy gets stuck, everything else follows: your clarity, your drive, even your mood. Most people try to mask it. Essential oils, air fresheners, dryer sheets stuffed into closets. But masking energy doesn't heal it. That's like putting perfume on a wound. It might cover the surface, but it doesn't address what's festering beneath. When your home begins to smell like it's holding something in, it usually is. That something might be dampness under the floor. It might be an old memory that the space hasn't released. Or it might be the energetic imprint of habits you've outgrown but never moved through. Whatever the source, the impact is real. People living in musty environments often report feeling more tired, less focused, less creative. They delay decisions, forget things, procrastinate with no real reason. Why? Because the air itself is heavy. Think of energy as breath. Your home needs to inhale and exhale just like you do. When windows stay closed for too long, when light doesn't enter, when airflow is interrupted, energy stops moving. Yin energy rises. And when yin builds without balance, it becomes decay. Not in the dramatic sense, but quiet, slow, dulling. It makes everything feel harder than it should. A young woman I worked with, let's call her Iva, had just moved into her late grandmother's home. The space was beautiful, filled with vintage charm. But she couldn't stay focused there. Her job suffered, her sleep became erratic. She kept saying, it just feels stuck. The house smelled faintly musty, not overpowering but always there. When we explored deeper, we found heavy curtains blocking every window, closets filled with papers no one had touched in years, and a kitchen fan that hadn't been cleaned in a decade. The air was holding grief, and time, and silence. We didn't gut the house, we aired it. We burn dried orange peels, cinnamon, and pink Himalayan salt for 3 days. We opened windows at sunrise even just for 15 minutes. The shift was immediate. Her face changed. Her ideas returned. And her laughter, something she hadn't heard in months, came back. You don't have to believe in energy to feel this. You already know the difference between air that lifts you and air that drags you. When something smells off, it's often because your home's life force is clogged. And it's asking you to listen. The fix is simpler than you think. Begin by identifying the source. Check corners most people forget: under sinks, behind large furniture, inside closets, near drains. Use your senses, not just your nose. Feel the air. Is it damp? Still? Heavier than it should be? Then take action. Boil orange peel, cinnamon, and a pinch of sea salt. Let that warm scent spread across rooms. It clears both odor and stagnant energy. Burn it for 3 consecutive evenings. Then this is key: open your windows for at least 15 minutes each morning. Even if it's cold, even if it's raining. Morning air carries fresh young energy. It sweeps away what no longer belongs. Next, address what hides. The back of the fridge, the corners of your bathroom, the cabinets beneath your sink. Wipe them down with warm water, sea salt, and a few slices of ginger. This isn't just cleaning, it's claiming. You're saying no part of this home is forgotten. That level of attention calls energy back to life. And don't forget textiles. Curtains, throw blankets, couch cushions. These hold more scent and more memory than we realize. Wash them, sun dry them if you can. Let them remember what fresh air feels like. One more tip: if a room holds mustiness even after cleaning, place a small bowl of uncooked rice and bay leaves in a corner. Both are natural absorbers of stagnant energy. Change them every 2 weeks. The point isn't superstition, it's stewardship. You're creating a home that breathes again. And when your home breathes, so do you. You'll feel it in how your thoughts move, in how your chest feels when you wake up, in how much easier it is to start the things you've been putting off. Because here's the truth: musty smells aren't small. They're signs that something is stuck, that something needs to shift. And when you listen gently, consistently, you don't just refresh a room. You renew your relationship with the space that holds your life. The energy in your home isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for attention. Give it. And what you get in return is clarity, vitality, and the quiet confidence that you are living in a space that loves you back. Number 5. Lingering fatigue. When the house is absorbing you, there's a kind of tiredness that no amount of sleep can fix. You go to bed early. You wake up late. You cut back on caffeine. You even take a weekend off. But the heaviness remains, like something's pressing down on you, slowly, steadily. It shows up as mental fog, forgotten chores, emotions you can't quite name. You're not depressed. You're not unwell. But you're not quite yourself either. And here's a possibility most people never consider: it's not coming from inside you. It's coming from around you. Your home might be absorbing you. In Feng Shui, the energy of a space and the energy of its inhabitants constantly exchange. Your thoughts affect the room. The room affects your thoughts. It's a loop: silent, invisible, but deeply felt. When a house becomes stagnant, when light stops moving, air grows heavy, and sound disappears, your inner life mirrors that stillness. The fatigue is real, but its source is often misunderstood. We tend to think fatigue comes from doing too much. But sometimes, it comes from not receiving enough. Not enough light, not enough stimulation, not enough energetic lift from the environment we live in. Think of a plant in poor soil. You water it, you care for it, but it never thrives because the ground itself isn't feeding it. That's what it's like to live in a house where the energy has grown dense, inactive, or imbalanced. Signs your house is absorbing your energy include feeling exhausted at home, but alert elsewhere, creative blocks, a decline in daily motivation, a general dullness in mood. Your body begins to move slower, your eyes stop looking upward, your breath becomes shallow. It's subtle but unmistakable. One of my clients, a retired teacher named Ellen, described it perfectly. I wake up tired. I eat healthy, I rest, I walk daily. But inside my house, it's like my soul just powers down. Her home was quiet. Too quiet. Heavy curtains, muted colors, long silences, no music, no scent, no movement. And in Feng Shui, this overaccumulation of yin energy, the passive, cooling, inward force can weigh the spirit down, especially when not balanced by enough yang light, warmth, activity, sound. We started small. I asked her to choose one space, a corner she used to love. She picked the kitchen window. We opened the blinds. She added a little stool, changed the curtains to a soft linen, and placed a potted rosemary plant on the sill. Then we added gentle background music, instrumentals at first, then her favorite old jazz. The shift wasn't instant, but over a few weeks, her mornings changed. She started cooking again, writing postcards, sitting in the sun, and most importantly, feeling awake. You don't need a full redesign. You need a reconnection. Start with what used to bring you joy in your home. A color, a corner, a piece of music. Something that reminds your senses, this place is alive. And so am I. Sound is one of the most underused energy tools in the Western home. Not loud, not constant, just soft, rhythmic sound to stir the air. A small wind chime by a window, a fountain speaker near the hallway. Even the subtle clink of teacups in the morning can restore flow. These sounds tell your space life is happening here. Movement is returning. Lighting also plays a crucial role. Switch out harsh blue bulbs for warmer tones. Let natural light in even briefly. Reflect sunlight using mirrors or glass. You want to create movement, not brightness, but animation. A feeling that light is flowing, not standing still. And don't forget about smell. Our sense of scent is deeply tied to memory and mood. Diffuse essential oils that lift: citrus, peppermint, rosemary. Boil cinnamon and cloves once a week. Burn a stick of Palo Santo or a candle that reminds you of somewhere peaceful. These aren't luxuries. They're invitations for energy to rejoin you. Here's something few people say: your home wants you to feel good. It responds to care. And when you're in tune with your space, you'll start noticing when something's off. That chair no one sits in anymore. That desk that's turned into a clutter pile. These are symptoms not of laziness, but of disconnection. So reconnect. Reclaim one small corner, one simple moment, each day. It tells the house, I'm still here, I still matter, and I'm ready to feel alive again. Lingering fatigue isn't always internal. Sometimes the house has just stopped moving. And once you bring that motion back gently, respectfully, you'll feel the difference. Energy doesn't just sit, it responds. And your vitality isn't gone. It's just waiting for the space to rise with you again. Final, after everything we've walked through: the blocked center, the forgotten room, the cracked walls, the musty smells, and the heavy fatigue, what you've seen is not just a list of problems. It's a map, a way to start listening again, because your home is always speaking. Through the air, the light, the spaces we rush past without noticing. And sometimes, through what it no longer gives back: energy, focus, joy. You see, Feng Shui isn't about rules. It's about relationship, between you and your space, between stillness and flow, between how your house looks and how it actually feels. Every imbalance we talked about today isn't just a design flaw, it's a signal. A sign that something inside the home, and maybe inside you, is asking to move again, to breathe again. And if you've made it this far, that means you're already listening. That alone changes everything. You don't need to fix your whole life, or your whole house. You just need to start gently, honestly, and with care. One drawer, one light bulb, one room that finally gets to open its windows again. These are not small acts, they are signals, and the energy around you listens. Always. So from me to you, thank you. Thank you for being here, for giving your space this attention, for being willing to see your home not just as shelter, but as a mirror of your inner world. I hope what you've heard today stays with you, quietly, gently, like a breeze that keeps finding its way through a window you forgot to close. And as you move through your days, may your home support you, softly hold you, and remind you that transformation doesn't always come loud or fast. Sometimes, it begins with the smallest shift, the softest touch, and the quiet decision to let your life breathe again. Take care. You're not alone in this, and your home is listening.